Crowhill here. Today we review a light beer and discuss some fairy tales. Hey, good evening, guys.
Gentlemen.
Good to see you.
Crowhill. There's
Fairy
Longinus. How's everybody doing?
Right.
So how about some beer and conversation?
That's a great idea. What are we drinking?
We're drinking a light beer.
A light beer.
That's
okay.
all I can tell you right now.
That's fantastic. It sounds good to me. So, what's on your mind?
Well. A few months ago, or maybe it was just last month, we read two Grimm's fairy tales.
Yeah,
Now, this
three.
comes from Grimm Reading, which is a podcast where they read and review all of Grimm's fairy tales. And what they did after the first volume was they created categories, like a tournament style, and by readers' reviews, chose the winners.
Top,
So we got down to the final four, and I will tell you what numbers 4 and 3 were, which were from the last show.
Okay.
We did the Fisherman's Wife and the Two Brothers. Now, mind you, most of the stories that you're aware of.
Yeah, you don't think of these.
Riding Hood, Snow White, Rumpelstiltskins, Cinderella, Rapunzel.
Right.
They
didn't make it. They didn't make it.
But they might make the last two because we're going to do numbers 2 and then 1.
Okay. Yeah.
But before that,
let's
we're going to drink the most regular beer you can make. This is a brand new regular beer, and they sell themselves as, daggone it, just a plain old regular beer.
It just says garage beer.
It's called garage beer.
And what was it that sold you on this beer?
Well, I just happened to be strolling by, and sometimes they put out advertisements.
Sure,
and there was a golfer.
You mean advertisements might work?
Well, I mean, if golfers get your attention.
Golfers? You mean like Jack Nicholson or something? No.
It was actually Paige Spearneck.
Yes. She will draw your eye.
Yes, super smoking hot. Now, also in the background was Kelsey, Taylor Swift's boyfriend's brother, the other football player who played.
Okay.
So the two of them, but he was way in the background.
That's good.
Yes,
that's not going to sell the beer for
because somehow I don't know where this idea came from. That advertisers realized about a week ago that beautiful blonde, sexy women. Are good for selling products.
What a crazy idea.
Yes, Sydney Sweeney, thank you very much.
Who would think that men's attention would be arrested by not
seeing like a fat man in a woman's bra.
Right.
That's not how you sell Calvin Klein. But I don't know. I'm crazy like that.
Crazy like that. But anyway, let's drink this beer.
So this is So this is just supposed to be. It's a $7.99, like a normal priced normal beer.
Yeah.
And this is called garage beer.
Garage beer, light beer.
95 calories.
4%.
So who makes it? I mean, is it a big brewery, small brewery, craft beer, local?
It says small batch. What does it say? It says small batch brew.
Small batch brew, but it doesn't tell us who the brewery is.
Yeah, there's probably some big name that's behind all of this, but that's all right. 4%, 30 carbs, 95 calories. That's a perfectly nice.
That's a perfectly fine light beer.
Light beer.
Yeah.
Lawnmower beer.
Yeah, it's got a touch of that slightly funky flavor that you get from some commercial light beers. Do you see what I'm saying?
No, I'm not really getting the funk, and I'm not really getting the adjunct. So adjunct usually means you'll get
corn or rice or something.
Or rice, and I don't know. It
tastes perfectly fine, but I'm getting just a touch of something that reminds me of some other beer, and I can't think of what it is. Maybe it'll come to me later. All right, so let's get into these.
Okay, kids, I know you're waiting for the big number,
the big reveal,
the big names that you're all so familiar with. And who can forget the Juniper Tree?
Right.
Now this comes with these guys actually do like a disclaimer because parents are going to want to listen to these with their kids, and they're going, this one has been they call it, this one has been certified Grimm. So it may not be for small children.
I want to
a
talk about that issue later on. After we do this, I want to talk about the question of age appropriateness and the grimness of the stories.
Right,
Okay.
right. So they said, if you're coming in here looking for Little Red Riding Hood, you might want to listen to this one on your own.
Although Little Red Riding Hood is a little rough.
Yes,
too.
well, that's true.
All of them
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And let's talk about what came first, Grimm or Grimm?
Yeah, so it's easy to think that we say, boy, that's kind of grim because of Grimm's fairy tales. It actually doesn't work.
No, it didn't. I was really looking forward to that.
I know. I thought that would be great.
But that's where we got the word, but
No.
not really.
No.
The Juniper Tree. Happy husband and wife.
Yeah, everything's great.
No kids.
Yeah.
But she's paring an apple and cuts her finger. Now this is straight out of Snow White.
Yeah. There's a
The
lot of
red
that.
blood falls on
Right.
the white snow,
Right.
and she wishes. This is how Snow White starts.
But it's near the juniper tree. where
Under the juniper tree.
She's
under.
praying
Cuts
or
it-
wishing or something.
and
right? Yeah.
And do we know that she's hoping for a child at this
Yeah,
point?
that's right. She wants a child.
Right. And then it walks you through month by month. Finally, she has this
9 months
child.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Has a
white as
boy.
snow, red as blood, and is so overwhelmed with joy,
She dies.
She dies.
she just dies.
Yeah.
And they bury her underneath the juniper.
And this is a classic thing in fairy tales.
Yeah.
Is the dad being left with
Yeah.
the kid and then having a stepmother.
There we go.
The stepmother is always the evil
Here comes
stepmother.
the
Right.
evil stepmother.
Right.
So he gets over his grief, meets a woman. They have a child. And
Well, wait a minute. No, she already had a girl, I think, because the girl is older. Is that right?
No. That's a different story. Where the I was thinking the same thing because when I listened to it a second time, I'm
Yeah.
going. Isn't it that the father has a daughter and the other has a daughter and they get together? No, that
No,
was
this is actually
The
their
daughters from their marriage.
that was like from Fisherman's Wife or something.
Okay. It's some other story. Okay, so this is actually the product of their marriage.
Their
girl,
marriage.
yeah.
And she grows to resent the boy that is not hers.
That's right.
Boom. The evil stepmother trope.
Yes.
However, although the story is introduced as taking place 2,000 years ago, which is really, most of them you assume are, medieval or 17th century.
That's actually a really interesting thing because some people claim that a lot of these fairy stories, are extraordinarily old. Mm-hmm. That they've been passed on for thousands and thousands of years.
Right. Yes, and they get modified by local culture.
They get into the soup and they change around and they adopt different elements from here and there. So I don't know about this particular one.
So this
but
one
a lot
here,
of
this is
stories-
one of the few ones that actually says it's 2,000 years old.
Yeah.
So because she gets possessed, in a sense, right?
Yeah.
It's not her actual evil intent, except for something overtakes
It's
her.
like the devil, right?
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
right.
Without saying
and
it,
they say
yes.
right.
It's like something, and that she can't even control, and so she wants to kill this child. And so the daughter comes in, she wants an apple, and the boy comes in, he wants an apple, and he says, "Oh, it's right here." She says, "It's right here in this drawer."
It's the weirdest way to
Right,
kill
right.
somebody I've ever heard of before. It's like, stick your head in this drawer and I'll close the door and chop off your head.
So
It's
hard it chops off your head.
That is so weird.
Then
Like,
she gets her wits about her.
Right.
What have I done? What have I done? And she comes up with the worst plan ever.
Yeah. So she wants to blame
Terrible.
shift. She wants to blame shift. She
worst.
takes the kid, puts the boy in a chair
Yeah.
in the corner.
Yeah.
Takes the head,
Yeah.
sticks it back on his neck, wraps it around with a scarf.
Yeah.
So the head is just like barely there. And then the sister comes in and says, will you share your apple with me or something like that?
Yeah.
And the boy doesn't answer.
Right. And so he goes to the mom and says, "Yeah, he's not answering. What should I do?" And she goes, "Well, go back to him, and if he doesn't answer, smack him in the head, cup him on the ear."
Yeah.
Right.
I got him on the ear. So she's like, "Well, all right, sounds like," and he doesn't answer.
Yeah.
He smacks him, and guess what happens?
His head falls off.
Yeah. So
Mom is perfectly fine with blame shifting.
Yeah. So the stepmother here is jealous.
Yeah.
Number one. murderous, number 2, and willing to shift her guilt onto her daughter. Like, this is an evil witch.
And the daughter is just, beside herself.
Yeah, beside herself that she's killed her brother.
So, to cover up the crime,
yeah.
What does Mom do?
Oh, the obvious thing.
Obviously, what else would you do?
She makes a stew out of the
black pudding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Black pudding.
Right. And the father comes home and says, well, where's my son?
Don't worry about it. He's off.
He went to visit some friends.
Visit your uncle.
Visit your uncle or something.
He'll be back. But look, I've got some delicious black pudding.
Yeah, here you go.
With
and
bones
he
in
loves it.
He loves it so much he won't let anyone else have any.
Eats the whole thing, which is kind of, that to be a lot of
It tosses the bones under the table.
Right.
Which black pudding, I don't know if it has bones or not.
I mean, it's made from blood, right?
I don't know.
I don't know what it
I don't think I'm going to be
Sounds
eating
disgusting.
black
I'm not
pudding.
going to be eating black pudding.
But I wouldn't expect a lot of flesh and bones in there. At any rate, he eats the whole thing, throws the bones under the table. Marlikin takes the scarf and scoops up the bones and buries them underneath
the juniper tree. The magical juniper tree. Yes.
And, of course, she is totally beside herself. And then...
It's just sad.
Now, the juniper tree is used for making gin.
Really?
Juniper berries are used for making gin. I wonder if there's any connection there. I'm just spitballing.
Yeah. Well,
when the world goes bad, drink gin.
They walk out there, and the tree comes to life in some bizarre way, right?
So a bird sprouts out of the tree.
Yes, a tree like claps its hands, and there's fire and smoke, and then a beautiful bird pops out. And
what's the bird song?
You're right. Yeah. So of course. The guys, Adam Field and Matt Hughes from Grimm Reading.
Oh, they sing song.
They sing song the thing, and
it's really good.
Right? It's like, my mother, she killed me. My father, he ate me. My sister Marlikin gathered up all my bones, buried them under the juniper tree. Tweet, what a beautiful bird am I?
It's really well done.
So that's the song that the bird sings, and they're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So the bird flies off to a goldsmith.
Right.
Sings the song.
Right.
Goldsmith says, you got to sing that again. That was great.
That was a great song. And the bird says, look, I only do it once for free.
Once for free, and I need something.
You got to pay me. So the goldsmith says, okay, I'll give you a necklace?
Yeah, yes, gold chain. Flies off to a shoemaker.
Yeah.
Same scenario. Gosh, that song was great. Kids, come out here. Listen to this bird.
Listen to this song. This is an amazing
the bird's like,
bird.
No. Not without something.
Yeah, you got to pay me.
So gets a pair of
red shoes.
Red shoes. Flies off to some millers. There's a whole group of them there.
Yeah, right. Sings the song.
Now, but a millstone, isn't that the giant thing that grinds?
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, it's like 400, 600 pounds,
It's right. It's what grinds wheat into
this
flour
is an amazing
or whatever.
This bird.
So this bird does the whole thing, except for after he's taken the gold necklace, the red shoes, puts a millstone around his neck.
Right, yeah.
Flies back to the house.
Right.
Then what? He sings the song again.
again.
And Mom's freaking.
Yeah.
Because the guilt of the whole thing is really just weighing on her.
Drops the millstone on the mother.
Yeah.
Kills her. Gives the shoes for the sister and the gold chain for the father.
And they're really happy, right?
Yeah, and then the bird magically changes into the boy.
Comes back to the boy
right
after the mom is dead.
Because that makes sense, of course, because the boy's bones were buried under the juniper tree. And everybody knows that if you bury somebody's bones under a juniper tree, it will come back as a boy later on.
I mean, this story is nuts.
It's nuts. It is very nuts. Yeah.
And so everybody lives happily ever after now that the evil stepmom is gone and the son is back.
Son is back, and the girl has somehow come to terms with her role in this, and the boy is back, and the father is back, and everything's great.
What is going on here?
It is nuts. So I don't know exactly what the role of the juniper tree is. The role of the millstone, it's pretty obvious. Jesus said, if anyone causes one of these little ones to stumble, it would be better if a millstone were tied around his head and he was thrown into the sea.
Okay, wow. So we got our first biblical reference.
This is a biblical reference to the millstone.
But the juniper tree, isn't that a tree that's always green?
Yeah.
Right? It's everlasting.
Yeah.
So it doesn't die in the wintertime. It stays green the whole time.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so
And it creates
there
berries
were some
for Jim.
other references that I'm not remembering. There were some other things that came up in the story that had some light biblical allusions to them. The millstone was the most obvious one.
Yeah.
But there were some other things that came up that made me think, this is a story that's, one of the big things that people wonder about is when they look at like Norse mythology and they see things in Norse mythology that have parallels to Christianity or to the Bible.
Yeah.
And then the question is, how did that get in there? Was it like early Christian missionaries or something influenced Norse mythology or something or other? It's the same sort of thing here. It's like, this is probably an old story that being retold collected elements of Christian story and kind of got merged into the story. It's like,
well, you got the resurrection of the sun.
Okay, right.
Right.
Yeah.
What else do you have? You have the juniper tree is the everlasting green. You have the millstone. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Shoes.
I can't think of anything about the shoes. Yeah. But there were some. I remember the first time I listened through it. I remember thinking there were a couple of clear biblical allusions to it. The only one I can think of right now is the millstone. But it's just a weird story.
It is just a weird. And is there, like a moral to the fable kind of a thing? Really? I mean, you've got the evil stepmother gets her due, but
in a way there is a moral to it, which is that justice is served in the end.
Right.
That the innocent boy comes back to life, that the innocent girl doesn't get blamed.
I know one that we looked up later. We were like, what is the story where the vindictive wife kills her own child and serves it to her husband? Mm-hmm. Remember that? It was like some Thracian king.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it was
that's apparently a very old story that's been around for a long time. The idea of the vindictive mother. Yeah. Serving
so
the
angry
children.
That you would, and you see that right. And you'll actually see that in crime stories.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, killing your ex-wife because you hate her. Right. That's one level, but you say no, that's not good enough. Yeah. I'm going to kill my own kids and hers to make her suffer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is nuts, but it's modern. Yeah, I mean, it's as old as it is. It's also contemporary.
Somehow it's down there in the stew of our minds.
Yes, of like, what is the worst thing I could do? Yeah. No. Killing her? No. I want her to live with the suffering of the death of her own children, even if it's my own children.
Right.
That's awful.
That's deep.
That is the depths of
depravity.
Yes.
Well, after reading this, is there anything that you two would is there anything that you would want to do better, or is there something that you would that you're like will never ever do again? I mean, is there a moral to this story? Is there something that's going to say I am going to change my behavior?
So that's an interesting question, because there's some stories that, like the Good Samaritan, okay, that you listen to the story of the Good Samaritan and you say, yes, I should care for other people. Okay, so that's a story that guides you towards some action. Mm-hmm. This story, I don't think guides you towards some action. Instead, what it does is it reinforces the idea that there's justice in the world and the bad guys get it in the end.
Yeah. I'll give you that. That's fair enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's not directing you to, go out and
bury yourself
under a juniper tree.
Yeah. So there's and there's no compassion. There's no grace for the stepmother.
No.
She gets a stone dropped on her head, and everybody's glad about it.
I mean, the only thing I can see, the only moral I can see out of this whole thing is the bad guy gets it, and the innocent kid
comes back.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, are we ready for number one?
Absolutely,
now I know everybody's waiting for one of the blockbusters.
Yes,
and nobody will be surprised when they hear Drum roll, please. The story of the youth who went forth to learn what fear was.
Yeah, of course, everybody learned that one when they were kids.
And I tell you what, so the fact that these four, none of the well-known stories, these aren't being rated by, Grimmologists.
Right.
This says probably more about the audience.
Yeah, it's not Sleeping Beauty. It's not Little Red Riding Hood. It's these weird stories.
So listen to you out there, the Grimm reading audience.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes.
That this is what you find to be the greatest of the Grimms.
And the weird thing about it is this story is very un-Grimm-like in many ways.
We'll see.
Okay.
So there's a father who's got two sons. One is smart and can do everything, and one is dumb as a box of rocks, can't do anything.
Yeah.
And he says, "Son, what in the heck are you going to do with your you don't do anything."
Yeah.
The stupid son.
You're so stupid you don't even know how to be afraid.
And he's like, I hear people talk. No. So when the smart son is sent to cross the graveyard at night or whatever, he's like, oh, that makes me shudder.
Right.
And then when people are telling scary stories, they say, ooh, that story. And the dumb son's like, I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
What are you talking about? What is the shiver shudder thing? I don't
he's
get it.
Decided, this is so stupid. He's decided that is the thing that
That's the quest.
He can't learn anything.
Right.
But he's committed to learning how to shudder.
He can't become a plumber. He can't become a...
No, I don't know how this
else.
Is this a vocation that you can...
Right.
So,
Yeah.
this is how dumb he is. He figures this is the one thing
This
that I
is
want.
my vocation. I'm going to learn how to shudder.
And the father's like, you're stupid.
Okay, fine. Go out.
Just
and do
go
this.
out into the world and do that. And who does he run into first? He goes into a guy's go, look, my job, I'll take care of this for you. To his dad. I got you. Give him to me. His job is to ring the bell at midnight.
This is the church with the hanging corpses?
No. He says, what I'll do is I'll send him up.
Yeah.
But I'll be up there in a sheet.
Oh, okay. Try to scare him.
And I'll scare him when he comes up to ring the bell. So he stays at that. He goes up there. And he just clocks the guy, throws him down some stairs, breaks his leg.
Totally not scared.
Totally not scared. He comes down there, boop-de-doo-de-doo.
Yeah.
And he didn't even know that was part of the lesson. He was just like, so he gets run off.
Yeah.
Goes to someplace else. Is this when he gets to the kings? I thought there was one.
I got one here, the church with the hanging corpses.
So this is a classic fairy tale trope in that you do some difficult deed like slaying a dragon,
right,
and you win the hand of the daughter.
Yes, well, he's eventually going to get there, but he's got to go through all these situations where there are spooky things like,
he's not scared, right?
It's midnight, and you go up and there's a ghost. in the
Okay,
tower.
now you're right. This is before he gets to the church.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets to the castle
Gets
with
to the castle, right?
the
He
king.
does all these weird
So
things.
somebody else has another thing for him. They go, we'll send him out to where there's 7 people have been hung.
Yeah.
All right, so how does that one go?
Yeah, so he goes into this place where there's a bunch of hanging corpses, and he just doesn't care. He's like, yeah, whatever, and he takes a nap. And
No, he builds a fire, and he's like, you dummies. You won't even come down here. You're gonna freeze up there. And he brings their bodies down. They catch on fire, and he puts them back up. And they're like, "Well, certainly you'll be scared of
flaming corpses."
Flaming corpses."
Yeah.
But no, he sits them up around the fire and then calls them stupid for not.
Probably reads them a story or something. Yeah,
He doesn't know they're dead. Then,
he's just so dumb. He is so dumb. You can't imagine how dumb
He doesn't know how to. So there he meets the king, and the king's like, "All right."
Well, before he meets the king, he spends 3 nights in a haunted castle.
Well, that's it. This is the king's challenge.
Okay.
To spend 3 nights that's how you win the hand of the daughter.
Right.
So he says, okay. All right. I mean, okay, you guys keep trying to scare me. So
Ghosts, skeletons, and other kinds of things.
So they send him in there, and the first night is the cats and the dogs.
Yeah.
And, he's just not moved at all. He goes to sleep on the bed. The bed flies around the castle.
Yeah.
He's unmoved by that in any way. The next day comes down there because he's got the day to himself. He goes back to the tavern because the night is when the scary stuff comes. He's like, How was last night? It was fine.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean there were some dogs and cats, but no worries.
Yeah.
So it's the second night.
So the second night, half a body comes down.
Yeah.
Not
Half.
bothered by it all. Then the other half comes down.
Yeah.
Puts itself together, and he says, how about we do some bowling? And he's got some skulls.
Yeah,
And
they're gonna
legs.
bowl with the skulls.
And some legs. Yeah, none of that.
Doesn't bother him a bit.
A little bit.
Rolling skulls to knock down femurs.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah, we'll
Right.
do that. And I don't know. Was that the end of night 2?
Yeah, and then there's
Does he go back to the tavern? And,
Yeah, because he's got nothing to do during the day.
Nothing to do, yeah.
And
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, I guess I got one more night in the castle. Hopefully I can learn to shudder.
yeah.
And
Nothing scares him. I mean, all this freaky, scary stuff happens to him, and he just passes it off because he's too dumb to realize what's going on.
yeah, so what happens on the third night? There's some, I don't know, a bunch of other scary guy. He fights a guy, murders him, and, well, all in all,
It's okay. Yeah,
not that scary.
not that big of a deal. So that he ends up having fulfilled the commission of the king.
So he's like, guess what? You're now like the heir to you get my daughter, and
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah,
Because I want somebody to be my heir who isn't scared by all this crazy
and he's
stuff.
like,
But what he wants is somebody who's not scared because he's brave, not because he's dumb as a fence.
but he's not impressed by the money. He's not impressed by the daughter.
Yeah.
He's still kind of mad
That he hasn't learned to shudder.
that he hasn't learned to shudder.
That's right.
So the wife,
So the wife's servant, his wife's maid,
all right,
comes and dumps a bucket of cold water with wriggling fish
Yeah.
on him while he's in bed.
yeah,
And that
and he goes, oh,
that causes him to
oh.
shudder.
He shudder.
Now I know what it is to shudder. Right.
The end.
The end.
What?
Yeah, right. Yeah, so this story is weird because it turns the whole Grimm's world on its head in a bunch of different ways. For one thing, the fear is completely comic. It's not like real fear.
True.
No, the hero doesn't grow. It doesn't get wise through what he's doing, or he doesn't gain any wisdom, doesn't gain any virtue. He's just dumb, and he's dumb the whole time.
Yes.
The horror scenes are played for humor. The quest ends with an anticlimax, right?
Yes.
Like you expect him after all this stuff to have learned something.
Yeah.
And he doesn't learn anything. He just gets a bucket of cold water poured on his head.
Yes.
Yes.
But if I could get in like a marriage dig, the only time he learns fear is after he gets married. That's my little rim shot there.
Well, I mean, but was it fear or was it just like, oh?
No, it wasn't fear.
uncomfortableness?
That's the thing. That's
Right.
what's
All
funny about
all
it.
he wanted was the shudder, like
Yeah.
you know that feeling, like ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
But that's part. That's
could-
part.
he-
That's part of making fun of how stupid he is. Is he doesn't recognize that shuddering from cold and squiggly fishes is different from shuddering from a
Drink.
ghost and a goblin and everything else.
Yeah.
Is this more of the story? There's a virtue to dumbness.
Being stupid, but that's again
Yeah.
how it's turning the whole Grimm model on its head. It subverts the moral lesson. He's not learning anything from all this.
Right, or is it? But it's a recognition that it's the difference between bravery and stupidity,
Yeah.
and also the difference between fearing. You have to be smart enough to know that you should fear something.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's like
exactly.
It's like picking up a rattlesnake.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, you're dumb if you don't understand fear, and that fear is
Yeah. As
like we would-
Commander Worf would say, only a fool has no fear.
yes,
Right,
right.
but-
In a way,
but-
like bravery, you would be like, well, a brave man has no fear.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
You're
But
supposed to
all
have
these quest stories is about overcoming your fear.
Exactly, and that's
Yeah,
why
right.
it subverts the whole. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This story subverts the entire thing. It takes the whole message and mission of a fairy story and flips it all around and just makes it into a farce.
So let's speculate on the Grimm reading audience that would have voted this story.
Yeah, why did they vote
I
this
would have
story?
I would have put Juniper Tree at the top, just for
the
pure bizarre nature of
Yeah.
both its grimness
And especially the little song. That they
and the little
sang.
sing-song,
Yeah.
and I just thought that was a lot more fun.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Than the youth who went forward to find out what fear was. Just
I think
the idea that everybody's on board with the idea, like you don't know how to do anything. He says, I know what I'll learn.
I learned how to shudder.
I'll learn how to, like, this is your plan?
Let me give.
Does fear have anything to do with the rites of passage from innocence to experience?
Oh, that's a great thought.
But because
Yeah,
it would
yeah,
have to.
does.
It would have to. I'm sure. Right there are a
But
million.
this doesn't do it. I
No.
mean,
There are tens,
it doesn't.
right, there are
No, it doesn't.
thousands and thousands of stories that just peter out because they don't resonate.
Yeah.
And so how did this thing go along long enough to fall into the hands of the Grimm brothers for them to write it down and say that this, right?
Or
in what way does it
interestingly-
resonate?
Yeah. Why does it resonate with the modern audience? And let me give you a theory. Okay.
By modern, I mean just Grimm's, 1870s or whatever.
No. By
Grimm's-
modern, I mean the people who listen to this podcast.
Oh, yeah,
and
okay,
voted
good.
This
Yeah,
one number
I
one.
see, yes,
Okay.
those people.
So here's my theory on why. A lot of people hear these Grimm's fairy tales and say, "That's horrible. I would never tell that to my children. That is so gruesome and wicked and all these terrible things."
Because you associate the Grimm's fairy tales with children's fairy tales.
Yes, and you think I would never say that to my kids. But this one, it's so comical, it's so silly, it's so stupid
Yes.
that you would think, sure, I'll tell that one to my
Juniper
kid.
Tree, the knocking the kid's head off
Yeah.
and all of that is a little more gruesome.
Yes. So
Yeah, this is so silly.
Yes, I think the reason it won is precisely because it doesn't follow the pattern of the Grimm's fairy tale, and because it doesn't expose children to the harsh, difficult images that the other stories.
Well,
Right, remember
but
the-
it does follow the quest story, because at the end of the day,
Yes,
he gets what he wants.
Exactly, that's
Yeah.
a very good point.
Yeah.
It does follow the quest story, but not in the same scary way.
Right,
Right.
but you're saying that might be what is satisfying about it, because it does actually follow.
Wow,
Okay, that's interesting.
I wasn't thinking that, but that's a great point.
That is a good point. Yeah.
Like remember in the two brothers
Oh,
where
gosh. Yeah.
where you knocked the guy's head off and they had to go get the thing. You put the head on backwards, had to rip it off again by a lion.
So many weird things in that story. Gosh.
Yeah,
Well-
that was a tough one.
I wanted to bring up and to see if this makes any sense to you all.
All right.
3 stories of literature with dumb main characters.
Okay. Yeah.
Billy Budd.
Yeah.
Herman Melville's Billy Budd.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah,
Chauncey Gardner of Being There.
good.
Forrest Gump.
Oh,
Yep.
And I think Forrest Gump is closer to this than
I did not realize that Forrest Gump was following in a tradition, but there
Maybe
was
he
very,
You're right, it
was.
is.
very
Yeah.
good point. No,
I don't know.
100%.
So I know 1 and 3, but I don't know the Chauncey Gardner one.
Yeah, that's
That's Jersey Kosinski, right?
yeah, and it was Peter Sellers Being There movie.
Okay.
Where he was such a simpleton, but everybody thought he was speaking in metaphor. But he was an
so
actual
wise.
gardener.
He was just
He was just talking about the actual garden, and everybody thought that this was metaphor.
I see.
For much, yeah.
But at the end of the story, doesn't he like walk across the water?
Oh, I'd have to.
That's
I'd
interesting.
have to pursue that.
So I mean, and Billy Budd was but anyway, I think Forrest Gump is the one that it's like
Yeah.
Bubba Gump Shrimp, just
Yeah.
because he was he was out there in the storm, and he was a great war
Took
hero
advantage of
because
every and actually in a sense he might have been a little too dumb to be afraid
Yeah.
in battle,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
good point.
That pattern of the dummy as the hero, which is an anti-hero kind of a thing. It's very interesting.
And it's also, I mean, well, it's also just a, like, you know, you all really, really smart people act really bad sometimes.
You know what this reminds me of? What you're saying here? It reminds me of Flashman.
No, Flashman is the original Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Yes.
So the whole Flashman series is him just being happenstance, showing up in all the most important events of history. He's at Custer's Last Stand.
Yeah.
He's at
he's just a crude
coward,
womanizer. He's an awful person, but he happens to be in the right place at all.
Right. So in a way, it's kind of a way to tell history a little in a fun way using this.
Yeah.
Really reprehensible character, frankly.
So let me get to this question of should children be protected from dark or gruesome elements?
Okay.
Because that's the reaction that most modern people have to Grimm stories. They think, I would never tell kids this. And I was thinking about this, and I think it's a mistake because you don't have to tell children that there are monsters out there.
Yeah.
They believe there are monsters out there, you know? So what you need to do is equip them to deal with the monsters. So the idea that you're telling them a gruesome story where things die and things get their heads chopped off, the kids already know that. The kids are already afraid of that. They already think about that. They dream about that. They worry about that. So these Grimm stories help kids process those fears in a symbolic, exaggerated way.
Yes, this is why Tolkien hated the Disneyfication of the Grimm stories.
Yes.
He's like, leave the Grimm part of the Grimm stories.
Did Disney take
place.
out the Grimm pieces of?
Well, we did on Snow White. And yes, it was Disneyfied.
Who was it?
Yes, and took the rough edges off.
How about there was a TV series of Grimm's Tales. Wasn't like Samuel Jackson part of it or whatever it was?
I don't
remember that one.
And that was gruesome as heck. Yeah. I mean, I didn't watch it.
I know.
Actually, that raises an interesting thing because there's a big difference between telling kids a story and showing them, like telling them that a child's head gets chopped off and that a drawer gets closed on them is a different thing from visually seeing the blood and the gore and all that kind of stuff. So
you're
that's
doing the work
difference.
for them. Yeah, letting their little minds roam. Now, me and my granddaughter have sung the Juniper song.
Yeah.
Now that's just one of our things that we do.
There you go.
However, she is 12 or something like that. She's not 5.
Exactly.
So she gets the absurdity of the whole thing. She's not horrified by putting the kids.
I mean, I think
it's still kind of a fun. It's a fun father grandpa kind of a song.
There you go. Uh-huh.
I think there is well, I think it's coming back, and I think the pendulum went to, oh my God, let's protect the kids, let's do the helicopter parenting, and I think that is
coming
waxed,
back.
and now I think it's coming back. I think kids need to be able to run through I hope they would say the kids need to run through the neighborhood and all that kind of thing. And I want to see some. I want to see more. I want to see more. Don't call the authorities, but I want to see some more children with scars and broken bones. but here's the thing too, which is so fascinating, right? Because we're talking about all this, but then if you went and you go to the cable TV and you go to video games, they are the most gruesome.
Oh, they are. Yeah,
horrible things ever.
But that's a big difference.
That stuff doesn't go away.
That's an interesting point, because hearing a story exposes children to mild fictional danger, right? And they learn some level of emotional regulation. How do I deal with this? But seeing it seeing the blood and the gore and all that. That's a different thing.
Right. Well, right. With the two issues there, and I think I'm absolutely with you on the fact that there is a difference between the mild experience of gruesome fiction versus thing. But there's also the fact that, are we trying to protect our children and to such a point that we are going to do whatever we can to put them in a safe place and not allow them to have any type of experience with gruesomeness.
Right.
Well, that's what the Grimms.
And we know that's wrong, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's got to be.
Yeah.
All right, so kids out there, if you want to hit, so the top four, let me just run them down again.
Okay.
Kids, coming at number 4, The Fisherman and His Wife.
Yes.
Number 3, The Two Brothers. Number 2, The Juniper Tree. And number 1, The Story of the Youth Who Went Forth to Learn What Fear Was.
According to
the fan base of
Grimm stories.
Of Grimm Reading Podcast.
All
right.
Cheers. Thanks so much for listening to Beer and Conversation with Pigweed and Crowhill. Remember to visit us at pigweedandcrowhill.com or send us an email at pigweedshow@gmail.com.